story and describes an early years romance with Craxus Sparks, who was a fellow community worker with an eye for invention who wanted to use their inventions to help the less fortunate and help the needy. Ida also was a community worker as well. The emperor, Brutus, who is still the reigning emperor, important to note, did not like this philanthropic, altruistic trend, and decided instead of eliminating Craxus Sparks, thought that wouldn't go over well, so instead offered them a job in the royal lab, and Craxus just ran out of time, was just so busy all the time that they weren't able to participate in these philanthropic efforts anymore. They were having to go on, they were working on Project Ignite at the time preceding the Blight and preceding their arrest, trial, and execution. Ida was aware that Sparks had made contact, was working on the island, which is only ever referred to as the Cradle of the Gods. Ariadne has in their notes that Bellows referred to it as Agaka. That's a Morgan mistake. That's not a lore thing. Sorry. Ida was aware that Craxus was on the island working on something to sort of siphon magic away from this, like, unlimited fountain of magic and power, and connect it to one of the systems beneath Fenhaven to then be distributed to the poor and needy around the country. She was also aware that Craxus had made contact with some of the spirits who manifested or resided on the island. Sparks went for one more trip to link the magic to Fenhaven, but something went wrong, and something akin to a nuclear disaster, both on the physical plane and on the arcano, like, magical plane, ripped through the fabric of reality, exploding, causing the bay in Egaka, and it turns out exploding the mountain out from under Fenhaven. It appears that Fenhaven used to be built on a mountain, but that all of it was blown away, and now only the basin is left. Ida was imprisoned for several years, where she was questioned, held hostage, and tortured, and her marriage tattoos were gouged out of her flesh. Not gouged out of her flesh, but gouged, so now she has deep scars running over her vows. And she was only released from imprisonment to see in time to see Sparks' execution. Bellows tells us that Blight seems to be a lasting mutation of the magic of life force, and that it can spiral out of control, and that this began happening immediately after that massive explosion. The massive explosion killed mostly adults. Kids seemed to be something like some kind of like resistance to it. But that then the kids that survived and all of the kids born in like the fallout afterwards had this mutation where not all of them, but some of them would lose control of their magic and explode. And there were, as it was phrased, it was like grenades going off every time an 18-year-old got mad. Gel showed the vial of your, as you guys referred them to as batteries, find that they refer to this as blood or life's blood. It is volatile, it's powerful. Gel drops the bomb that Noah is Ida's son in a very blunt and direct way. I thought it was really funny. And they realize, embrace, and both sob in each other's arms. So much information was shared that a clear path forward was not able to be determined at the time, so the plan was made to separate, for everybody to go away, think about things, and make a plan, and then reunite in a few weeks' time at the place where you guys were already going to meet with your other boat in that town. Right after you guys left, so you guys put on like costumes and like for like the festivities of New Anim's Eve to blend in with the people out on the street, and went outside. However, the street was not overflowing and boisterous as you guys had anticipated, but was in fact filled with about 30 guards and about a dozen high-level mages who all immediately cast an upcast sleep spell on you, felling most of your party and your allies. Danny was the only one who passed the sleep spell, and so had the joy of witnessing a man in a tailored noble suit, who you guys come to realize is the Thane of Fenhaven. gloats and threatens Ida. She puts herself in front of the rest of you and says, "Take me instead. Leave the children alone. This has nothing to do with them. This isn't what you think." And he says, "Don't worry. You will die a traitor's death, just like your spouse, and you will soon be reunited. And these creatures, referring to the children, will be returned to the cage that they belong in." The mages recast the spell and Dani falls asleep, but right before she does, another noble bursts onto the scene, stopping the Thane from killing Ida with a dagger. A tall half-elf, that the Thane then refers to as the Kid Prince, stops him from killing Ida. He says that this is his city, that these are his prisoners, that this is not in his domain, and Prince Fidelis orders the imprisonment and not the execution of the people in attendance. The rest of everybody is carted away, and the last thing Dani sees is him picking up and carrying Noah in his arms, and with a small blade, making a small incision at the back of his neck and removing something metal and tossing it into the gutter. You guys were then instructed to, hold on, one more video.